This is totally my jam. Cool. Stop. Hit that button there.
Hey everyone, this is SpideyFan 101, and by the time you're seeing this, I'm going to be at Disney. So the next two Big Hero 6 The Series reviews are going to be here at Disney World. So yeah, I'm in the resort right now. I just finished watching the episode, and oh man, this episode was a doozy. So there's a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. So the episode starts where we see this little girl. She's in front of this fountain, and the fountain starts moving by itself. We're like, what's this? Then we realize, hey, it's Globby again. Haven't seen him since the Kentucky Kaiju episode. So he's causing havoc. Fred is out there trying to chase after him, trying to get him, and the whole time I was like, wait, where are the rest of them? Why is it just Fred? And then the episode answers my question immediately because it cuts to them in class. And they can't leave because, you know, they're in the middle of class. And they can't, like, Iron Man Armored Adventures this situation because that would just be too fantastical. So Go-Go's like, Fred, you gotta do this on your own. And while they're doing that, and while they're on the computer talking to Fred, Professor Granville's like, hey, you have something to say? She says this to Go-Go, and she's like, no, Professor. And so we cut back to Fred as he's trying to get him. He completely fails at this, and plus what he also manages to do is destroy the entire town in the process. Because he used wrecking balls to try to get him. He blew stuff on fire. He destroyed things, countless things. It was just crazy, man. So we go later on. The rest of the team are seeing this damage, and Hero's like, oh boy. And so Go-Go's like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't let him do that again. And so we find out that Hero is developing this little Baymax called Minimax. And now, I saw this clip in my Comic-Con reaction. I'll put it in the description below. And I thought it was crazy because I was like, a Minimax? Like, what would his position be? And it turns out that his position is to watch over Fred while he's by himself doing these missions because he's being too reckless. So while they're talking about this, because Go-Go is like, wait, Minimax, what? And so while Hero's explaining what Minimax is for, Fred is over in the background listening to all this, and he's excited because he thinks he's getting a new sidekick. So he's like, oh boy, I'm so excited, I'm getting a new sidekick. And so afterwards we cut to Hero and Baymax going to the lab, and the lab is closed. Hero's like, what's this about? And so he goes, so Professor Granville comes in. She says, the lab has been closed due to maintenance. And she's like, go home. And while she goes away, Hero's not believing this for a second. So he's like, hey Baymax, there's another entrance at the back. Let's go through there. And so Hero was bouncing on Baymax, trying to get up there. He gets in there. Baymax also tries to jump. It's pretty funny. And Hero opens the door to pretty much let him in. And so he finishes the Minimax chip to put into Minimax, obviously. And he notices that Professor Granville is in the building. And he's like, what's she doing here? She said she was going to leave. And so Professor Granville scans the hallway to see if there's anybody there. Obviously Hero and Baymax are there, so they had to hide. So Professor Granville goes in the room, and it's mysterious as to what she's working on. But it's like she's working on this weird robotic system. We don't know what it is yet, and so that's crazy. But on the other hand, we cut back, and the next scene is pretty much the San Diego Comic-Con clip, where they activate Minimax. Minimax does his thing with, I am Minimax! And so Fred's like, yes, I have a new sidekick. He tries to, was it fist bump or give him a... No, it was a pat on the head. He tries to pat him on the head. Minimax takes this as an attack. He flips him over, ties his shoelaces on his feet. He has him in a hold. And he's like, do you give up? And he's like, I was trying to pat you on the head. And Bandit's like, oh, sorry, go ahead. And Fred is scared because, or not scared, but he's freaked out because he just attacked him. Now, after that, Baymax scans his hand. He's like, you have a slight abrasion on your hand. I suggest icing on your hand for 2 to 3 days. And so Baymax looks down at Minimax. He's like, hello, I am Baymax. And Minimax is like, hello, I am Baymax. And they explain what they do, and it's pretty funny. And so afterwards, we cut to a scene of the team just relaxing because they have the day off because, you know, the lab was shut down to maintenance. And Hero is still not believing this for a second. He's like, I don't believe that she would close it down due to maintenance. So Gogo's like, look, she's just hard on you. You need to accept the fact that, you know, maybe it's just closed for maintenance. You're just being crazy. And he was like, nope, I'm not believing this for a second. So he takes Baymax. He goes, tries to follow her. She's going down Good Luck Alley. And it's crazy because Good Luck Alley is where all the bad people go. So they go down there to basically eavesdrop on her. Kind of like in the Mirror Woods episode when Hero and Fred were eavesdropping on Gogo. And so they're going down. All of a sudden, they bump into Yama. And Yama's carrying a pizza. And it gets on his jacket. He's like, I just washed his jacket! Attack them! So he gets so angry over a jacket. It's so weird. And so, Hero and Baymax are running. Hero gets on his moped, drives away. And I was taken aback by this because Hero has this, like, he has the thing that Baymax charges in. And it's weird because, like, he could talk to Baymax, because usually when you put Baymax inside there, he's like shut down, he's off. So he has like a new thing that he could carry him around with. So if that's the case, then that's pretty cool. So yeah, they're driving away. Hero has these like rocket things at the back of his moped, which was pretty awesome. And we cut to Fred and Minimax as they're trying to find, you know, what danger's going on. So they sense danger. Well, before that, they're having like this little banter about how, oh, sidekicks do this. Oh, we finish each other's sentences. And Fred is like going crazy with this whole sidekick thing. And so they sense danger. They go down there. Globby's back stealing some money, stealing some coin, like literal coin. And Minimax is like, stop right there, citizen. Or stop right there, criminal. And Globby is wearing this mask trying to do this accent. And Fred's like, you're not fooling anybody. I know that exact accent. You're very bad at it. And so Globby's like, whatever. He tries to get away. Like, Fred's chasing after him like earlier in the episode. But Minimax is here trying to stop the damage that Fred always does. And so Fred catches him in a corner. Fred breathes fire at Globby. He absorbs it, and he's about to catch Fred on fire until Minimax comes in, stops that. Globby gets away, and Fred's like, we make a great team, even though they lost. Which, that's crazy that he's saying we make a good team even though they lost. But, yeah. We cut back to Fred. No, we cut back to Hero, Baymax, Gogo, Wasabi, and the rest of the team. As You know, Wasabi's messing with some things. Go-Go bumps into his thing like she did in the movie, and he's like, because he's a neat freak, and so Hiro is like, hey, guess what? Professor Granville's up to something weird. She was in Duck Alley. And Go-Go's like, okay, that's weird. And so Hiro's looking in the I almost said the weird book. What? Hiro looks into the yearbook and sees a picture. And he's like, you know what? I think I know who can help us with this. And he goes to this facility, and he runs, and he's here to visit Callahan. Professor Callahan, yokai. When I saw this, I flipped out. Because I knew that Professor Callahan / yokai was going to show up in this season. Like, I had a feeling, but I didn't know he was going to show up not only this early, but in this context. And that's crazy. So Hiro and Professor Callahan are talking about Professor Granville. And once they're done talking about her, he was about to walk away, and Professor Callahan's like, "Hey, Hiro, I never thanked you for saving my daughter. So I just want to thank you for that, and I'm sorry about Tadashi." Now, if you guys don't know or haven't seen the movie for some reason, Hiro, like Tadashi, was in the fire in the building, and Callahan had the microbots, so he could have saved Tadashi at any point in time, and he decided to save himself instead of Tadashi. So, you know, Tadashi died in the process. So ever since then, Hiro has had a real grudge with Callahan. Because even in the movie, like, when he found out that yokai was Callahan, he was like, Baymax, destroy him. And that was crazy. So Hiro's like, Tadashi would want me to forgive you. Hopefully one day I can. So he walks off after that. And I don't know if that's the only time we're going to be seeing Tadashi. Not Tadashi, what am I talking about? I don't know if that's the only time we're going to be seeing Callahan in this season. But I hope it's not, because that was really cool how he showed up. So we cut back to Hiro trying to find out what's going on with Professor Granville, because he's sneaking into the building again. He's sneaking into the Institute again. But this time, it's not like there's no patrol. There is patrol, but there's just a bunch of these robot spiders crawling around. Like, intruder detected. So they almost attack him, but Professor Granville comes out of the shadows like, I think we found our intruder. Sorry, guys. But, we find out that the whole reason why she was acting all shady, you know, closing down the laboratory, going down Good Luck Alley, is because the whole time she was building this security system. Because, you know, there's a huge criminal activity rate that's spiking upward. So she's like, hey, why not protect my school from danger? So, yeah. She shows him the system, the security system that she was building. Because the whole time it was a security system. And all of a sudden, we cut to, like, Obake's screen. And he gets the bots to go after Hiro and Professor Granville. So the robots see them as enemies now. So they start attacking them, and they're running, trying to get away from these things. They trap themselves in a room, and Hiro's like, hey, I know you had this old partner, or this old student that you invest all your time in when you were teaching before. I just want to know why you left. So she tells the story of the student that she was working with and had a close relationship with, and how the student had an accident in the laboratory, and it's basically like he left the laboratory like in the ambulance car in like this huge body cast thing, and Professor Granville pretty much felt responsible for it, and she took the blame for it at the end of the day. But yeah, so we got to learn more about herself and the student, which is Obake, if you didn't know. So yeah, that's probably why his face lights up like that, because of that accident, maybe. But yeah, or maybe he gave him some like mysterious powers or something. Who knows? But the robots get in. Hiro gets on his phone. He's like, guys, I need help. But then Gogo's like, well, she's gonna notice us if we go there like this. She's gonna notice us, and because Fred is the only one whose entire body is concealed, he goes out there with Minimax. And so they get there. They get to we cut back to Hiro and Professor Granville as the robot spiders get in, and they're attacking them. And Hiro gets on them before one attacks Professor Granville. He jumps on it. He's going all over the place. And the robot spider is about to it's about to shoot at him. And then we cut to Fred and Minimax as they're going in, trying to get to where Hiro and Professor Granville are. So they get to the security system, and they have to fight all these robot spiders. And so Minimax is marching these orders, but Fred is just scared of spiders, so he's just like still on the wall. But Minimax gets caught by one of the spider things. Fred is just he's trying to piece together what makes these robot spiders tick, and the whole time the system's just crashing because he's confusing the system on like a huge scale because he's saying all these things, and so the system gets destroyed. It implodes on itself, and then the robot spiders that were attacking Hiro and Professor Granville go down, and Obake is just like And so we cut to the next day as Hiro goes into Professor Granville's room as she's trying to clean up the place, and Hiro's just like, look, I just want to say that I'm not gonna turn out like that old student that you had a connection with. I'm not gonna turn out like as crazy as he did. And as he's walking out, and like she said, it's time to go, Hiro. And as he's walking out, Hiro's smiling, and then we cut to, and then we see, before the door closes, we see Professor Granville smile at him. And then we see a quick thing of Obake, and he is not happy. Not at all. So, I know that that review was kind of jumbled. Well, it wasn't really, I don't think it was jumbled. It was more the fact that it was less structured than some of my other videos, than some of my other Big Hero 6 reviews have been. And that's because I went back to watching it live and then reviewing it, because since I'm not home, I don't have Disney Now as a luxury of reviewing these. So I don't have that to my, to my aid. But, I just grabbed all the Big Hero 6 merch that I had and went up top of the screen and, did all this. So, overall, this episode was very good. I didn't know what to expect from it because of the whole Minimax thing. Now, when I looked at Big Hero 6 Wiki, it said that the next episode was titled Big Hero 7, and I have no idea as to why. There was also no teaser for the next episode at the end of this one. So I don't know what that's about. but maybe they want to keep the plot of the next episode a secret, because maybe something major happens. Something big. I'm talking about like something really big must happen next episode for them to hide footage from the next one. So, yeah. Overall, this episode gets a 10 out of 10. I absolutely loved it. I loved every part of it. I love that Callahan / Yokai showed up. I just love it. I love it. I love that we got more character development for Professor Granville. Because this whole time, I was speculating, like, why did she hide this stuff? Like, ever since that Small Hero 1 episode, where we found out that she was there, like, longer than originally anticipated, I've been trying to figure out, why is this? And that's because she left after what happened to Obake. So, yeah, that's very interesting. But overall, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I loved it. Peace.
Pinky promise. Bro.